So till 13th of April 2022, next year, in a week almost, till 13th April next year, Jupiter is transiting in the sign of Aquarius, and after that he is going to enter the sign of Pisces. And this is a very important transit because we have seen this Jupiter's energy fluctuating from Aquarius to Capricorn, then again Capricorn to Aquarius, and now finally we will see that this energy moves into Pisces next year. I will be making that video sometime in January, but this video is for the transit till April next year, because you got to understand the energies of Capricorn and Aquarius. If you see what is Aquarius, Aquarius is the original 11th sign, and if you go to the list of Karakas, then you will see that Jupiter is the Karaka for the 11th house, right? Of course, this is the 11th sign, not the 11th house, but the energies are very similar between the zodiac signs and the houses. And Aquarius is the 11th house in the Kalpurush Kundli, which starts from the Aries ascendant, right? For newcomers and for those who do not understand what is a Kalpurush Kundli. So therefore, you got to understand that the energy of Jupiter is very harmonious with the energy of Aquarius. But first you have to understand what is Jupiter and what is Aquarius. If you do not understand these two, then you will not be able to understand how the flow happens, right? So what is Jupiter basically? Jupiter represents anything that you get from the top. Yes, anything which is a blessing in your life, anything which is because of the good activities, the pious karma of your past life or your past lifetimes, anything which you get from the top, in the sense not from God necessarily, but from your seniors, like your mother, father, your guru, your guide, your trainer, your counselor, your mentor, your preceptor, your Pat Pradarshita Guru, your Shiksha Guru, your Diksha Guru, or maybe Chaitya Guru, who is God himself. So Jupiter represents anything which is bestowed to us, not because we deserve it necessarily, but because it is bestowed out of love and affection for us, right? So for example, the guru is the one who bestows divine knowledge, right? A guru is different from a shikshak. A shikshak is one just who imparts some information or knowledge or education, but guru is different. So nowadays many people say, oh, there are online gurus who teach this, or like yoga gurus or astrology gurus, or fitness gurus, or social media gurus. So these people are not gurus actually. They are if you see in a Vedic context, it's like more of the word like shikshak, right? One who gives education. But a guru is one who exclusively takes you to God. So that's the difference between guru and shikshak. Now, but why? The question is why? Why does Jupiter represent all this? Because Jupiter at a higher level, at the ultimate sense, represents the blessings of God. In short, nothing more than that, or nothing less than that. So Jupiter also represents spirituality. It represents karma yoga. It represents jnana yoga. It represents ashtanga yoga. It represents bhakti yoga. It represents all the different yoga ladders. It represents all religions. It represents all the concept. It basically represents this concept within this world that there is something beyond matter. That's all. That is Jupiter. And now what is Aquarius? Basically, Aquarius represents the world in general, things which motivate people at large. Okay, Aquarius represents things which impact people at large. So we know that the 10th house, the 10th sign is Capricorn, and it's the house of the king, right? So who actually selects the king? Well, it's the people actually, right? So nowadays there is democracy, but earlier times there was monarchy. So there's a difference between monarchy and dictatorship. Dictatorship is when one person is just ruling, right? There is some opposition or there is no opposition, and the person does whatever he or she feels is good or is right or wrong, whatever that person wants. So that person is like a dictator. The one dictator is one who dictates. Now, monarchy is different from dictatorship. Monarchy is when a king is ruling under the guidance of a brahmana. Okay, so a kshatriya is ruling under the guidance of brahmana. So who is a kshatriya? Kshatriya is one who frees people from suffering. Chatatrayate, that is the meaning of the word kshatriya. Okay, chatra means hurt, pain, suffering, misery, inconvenience. So one who frees people from misery is actually a kshatriya, right? Kshatriyas are leaders. We appoint, we have leaders to who are supposed to take us beyond suffering. And but being a kshatriya alone is not enough, because kshatriyas can get very corrupted and polluted by their misuse of their administrative powers most of the times, as it is seen. So when a kshatriya does not have a brahmana who guides him, then a kshatriya becomes a dictator. So whenever you see today there's monarchy or there's dictatorship, so it's actually a kshatriya apparently who does not have the guidance of a brahmana. And who is a brahmana? Brahmana is one, brahma janiti iti brahman. So one who knows the signs of God, that person is a brahmana. He or she can be from any religion, any community, doesn't have to be born in a brahmana family in India, like Sharma, Bharadwaj, or anybody like that. But he or she has to know the signs of God and how to take society towards God. So when a brahmana and a kshatriya combine, then they can make transformation in the society. Because see, the thing is, brahmana only gives knowledge. The brahmana does not go and see if people are actually following the scriptural principles, right? So, for example, a brahmana may say, okay, it's good if you follow ahimsa, like you should not do violence. But the brahmana will not go and see, everywhere who is doing violence, who is not doing violence. So that's the job of the kshatriya, the kings, the police or the army or whatever, right? So they will make sure whatever is said by the Brahmins, that is actually followed by people. And if they are not followed, then there's punishment, right? There can be even very severe punishment sometimes. So that is what is monarchy. Okay, and this is very different from dictatorship. So Aquarius actually represents those things which governments could decide for people, and which ultimately ends up affecting their lives in some way or the other. Now, when Jupiter transits Aquarius till April next year, almost like 4 months are remaining for this transit. So it is a very good time to spread awareness on things which Jupiter represents actually. So if you have an idea which you think can change people's lives, or if you have if you know somebody who has these ideas, you can bring them to forefront. And if you have some if you have a plan which you in your opinion is good for the people, you could seek guidance from some guide or some counselor and check if that could be a good idea in the long run for people, right? But essentially Jupiter in Aquarius is, it's just like saying it's rather an excuse to make lives better. Okay, so therefore, if there is anything in your life as of now, at this current moment, which is benefiting you, then the best thing you can do during this transit is you can share this knowledge with somebody or with everybody, right? So therefore, you may not be a king, you may not be a kshatriya, you may not be a brahmana, you may not be one of these two. But the thing is, you will also have some spiritual knowledge which you have got from your parents, or maybe your elders, or some senior person, or some guru has given you some guidance. So now is the best time that you share this knowledge. It could be something materialistic, or it could be metaphysical, or it could be, as I said, physical, or it could be spiritual, or it could even be religious, right? So therefore, when you do this, what will happen is, now because Jupiter is transiting Aquarius, therefore people will listen to you if what you are saying actually makes sense, right? It's very important. Just don't speak things which don't make sense. So therefore, if you feel that something within you can benefit others, then go ahead and use this transit and share your knowledge. Make a video in YouTube, or write a post in LinkedIn, or make a short video or reels in Instagram or YouTube shorts, or tweet about it, right, in Twitter or whatever, whichever medium you use. Because now what happens when Jupiter transits Aquarius, any idea which will help the world in general and make the world a better place will be accepted by people. Okay. So therefore, please make sure that you are using this opportunity in the right way, in the right direction. Otherwise, if you are spreading hate or negativity, then this will also spread. Okay. But then the problem is, or rather the good thing is, if you spread hate, you will be exposed very soon. Okay. So therefore, do not do anything which will disturb the harmony of this world, right? Do not do anything which will increase adharma in this world. Okay. So do things that will increase dharma, that will increase the orderliness in this world, that will help other people mentally, physically, financially, socially, spiritually, materially, whatever you say. And along with that, do spiritual practices, elevate your consciousness, and join some spiritual community, because Aquarius is all about Sangha, right? Satsanga, basically. It's about Sangha, which means association, but when Jupiter comes there, it becomes Satsang, okay? So therefore, just don't do some spiritual practices alone in your home. Just go out and join some spiritual community in the weekend, or do it online. Either ways that you are comfortable, okay? Because as they say, united, what do they say? Alone we fall, united we stand. Right? So therefore, utilize this transit, make the world a better place, and realize the power of association. Okay. Thank you very much. And if you like this video, click the thumbs up and share this video with your near and dear ones. And if you want a consultation from me, you will find the link to my website down in the description section. God is there with you all the time. Just look to him and you'll find him.